views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff and management of WWDB-TV.
Where my girls got the sweetest pussy.
Welcome to SinCityBounty.
.com. I don't know if it's the same, but
It's not the same. We are missing our fabulous Sierra today. She is traveling the United States of America on her way to Washington, D.C., and we've been following her posts, her pictures, which is usually a family because she's seeing family all along the way, which is really, really cool.
so she's, I think for dinner, she had herself some tuna.
So she's not doing a cuisine tour or anything.
Have you met her?
That's true. She carries beef jerky in the car.
Like,
She's survivalist.
she has an apocalypse survivalist kit, like, in her vehicle. She once showed me that we could pull over and eat ramen. Like, we were just on the way to Walmart. We weren't even, like, camping. And we were just headed down the street or whatever, and she's like, we can make ramen just in case there's ever an issue.
Anyway, we miss her. We were thinking about having a guest come in, and we actually invited someone, but they weren't able to make it.
Right.
But that's okay, because Toxie has found a list that we want to go through today.
I have, and I'm trying, just bear with me, I'm trying to share this on my page, but I'm not having luck for some reason. Do y'all get the live video? Like, aha, here we go.
I know there's a lot of green above us right now, but that's because I'm using...
It's Christmas.
I don't know what it is. My iPad, I think, it's like super old. I've had it forever. I think it's wearing out because I couldn't turn it to do a sideways view, but it's just the two of us, so that's good.
So it's just us. So even though it's just us, I luckily came complete with the complete list of 239 sexual fetishes and kinks.
Are those like sanctioned? Are they like in from a psychology book, or are they just, you know, some random
They were
BuzzFeed?
from somebody's post on Facebook, which makes it practically the Bible. So someone else posted it on Facebook. I'm like, oh shit, I have to share this with a friend, and I did. And then before I left, I left work to rush here today. And before I left, I'm like, oh, I want to bring that list. And so I printed it out. The printer's next to my boss, and originally it was like 53 pages. And I'm like, I could probably get away with a couple pages, but 53, that woman is going to look over to see what I'm printing. And the last thing I need is for her to look over and see me printing the complete list of 239
Sexual fetishes?
and kinks.
All right. So, do we want to do any catch up or anything like that?
So yeah,
We know Sierra's on vacation.
So Sierra's on vacation. I've been soccer momming like the fuck out of life. With a lot of, you know, I have a high schooler who's now preparing to be a junior, which makes me vomit a little in the back of my throat.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Does soccer have a season?
Yes and no, not for her. She plays year-round soccer, but she also plays seasonal soccer. And so she plays high school seasonally. She plays club year-round. But we just hit the end of what I guess you could call a season, because at the end of the year you have to try out again for the following year.
What is normal soccer season?
May to May.
It's a whole year. I said normal, not your daughters.
Normal. I guess there's for school, usually fall. So she'll start in August for high school, and that wraps up the end of October.
Oh.
And then
That's a short season.
It's just the high school season. And I know that if she was in when she was younger, it would go fall and spring. But, you know, they play you around. She heads out to, she got bumped up, and she heads out to a big tournament in California for a week next week.
I asked because I follow you on Facebook, of course, and you post all the soccer pics.
Right.
Because you always selfie at the field.
Right. So that's what I do.
And it seems completely year-round, from May to May.
It is. So I like to post photos of myself at soccer when I'm hot, when I'm cold, when it's beautiful out, when I just like photos of the grass, and sometimes I even post a picture of my kid, who's the actual one playing soccer. So I will say I just wrapped up my 1 year of being a team manager, and I sucked at it. I will never do that again in my life.
I was going to ask, how did you do?
It was the biggest mistake ever, not for me so much as for the others. I'm very, you know, you have to be on top of a lot. You have to do a lot. I just assumed it was scheduling things, and I'm like, there's an app for that. I got this. But it's a lot of like collecting money, making arrangements, making travel arrangements. If dealing with like everybody paying on time to get in a tournament, and if they don't pay, you either have to choose to put your own money in, or the whole team misses out. So there was a lot of that, where I was like, oh, now I have to try and get this $400 back. So anyway, the bottom line is I want to absolutely apologize for every team manager throughout my daughter's existence. She's played since she was 4, although she did, you know, a little mommy and me soccer before then. But she's played on a team since she was 4, in a club since she was 6, and I apologize to every team manager I have ever not responded to, or been the last one to pay something, or not, you know, said we would be somewhere. I apologize to all of them, so I'm very sorry.
And you're not even going to attempt to do it again.
Fuck no.
Because, you know, the more you do things, the better you usually get at them.
Right now, I got worse.
Okay.
Like, as it progressed, and I was like...
Know your strengths.
Know
your strengths,
Yeah,
know
know
your
my
weaknesses.
strengths. It's not that. You know what I'm good at? I'm good at planning kids' birthday parties.
There we go.
If the whole year could have just been one big kid's birthday party, it would have been amazing. I know my strengths. That's not it. And I don't like chasing people for money. I
Right.
don't. Because
I'm not a fan of that either.
life happens. Like, things happen, like legit things happen. And so, you know, it's kind of one of those.
I know that there are people who have that skill, but I don't think they're born with that skill. I think that has to be some kind of learned skill, sort of like air traffic control.
Maybe.
Right?
There's some people who just do it and they do it well. I
Yeah.
mean, there's some that, you know, are amazing. And
Most
for
people
me,
I know have major psychological or personal, or are just not good at it whatsoever.
I was the mom who sat on the other side of the field often, like with the other team. So, and that's for 2 reasons. Number one, I sometimes would just plop, but, you know, wherever I'm at, I'm like, boop, here goes the chair. But number 2, I didn't always recognize who our parents were. So we'll also say I may not be the most social. So there's that. But anyway, I have finished out my year, and I'm still helping out her old coach because she moved up. I'm helping out her old coach until he gets a new manager.
I was going to ask, do you get any kind of break at all? But
So, I mean, if she stayed with him, I'd just be rolling right into it. Like, you have to go through a background and everything. They have to prove that I have like a safe kid card. So they have to go through a whole background and all of that
That's
to
good,
allow me to
actually.
be around the children.
that's really good.
So, yeah.
Is that new?
No, and the coaches go through even further, you know, testing and backgrounds and everything. So it shouldn't be new. If it is, that just sucks. Yeah, manager deterioration. That's 100% what it's been.
That's a great.
Like,
That's a great term.
without a doubt.
I'm
was awful.
actually a very good manager, but if I have to chase down money, then I'm not.
Yeah, I can manage people. I've managed people. I've managed many people. I don't have an issue with that part of the process, but I didn't have to go after them for money.
Right.
And then have moments where, like, oh my gosh, a family member died, and then I'm like, I'll just pay it. I'll just pay it. So,
It's like your daughter's selling cookies or
Right.
something.
Right. Yeah. So, and and she's and then like some parents had talked crap about me that, I'm horrible, and yeah, I was all upset one day, and I'm like, I can't believe like they talk shit about me, and my daughter's like, well, I mean, they weren't wrong, were they? I'm like, no. She's like, okay. We don't care what they say.
All right, so I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about what's been going on with me, but I do want to give a shout out to someone named Marcella, who lifted a huge weight off my chest today. So thank you so much, Marcella. Thank you. A lot of you have noticed that the website was down, I think. We didn't get any emails, so maybe not. But the website is back up. I used our Patreon funds to pay for our website.
Yay.
Thank you so much. Please, if you can, try to go do the $5 or the $3, anything monthly if you love these shows. I will get us updated. I will get all the videos up. I will get all the audios out.
And our podcast.
And yeah, the audio.
Perfect. And I know we joke on here about like the Patreon going towards tacos. That's not actually where it goes.
No.
It keeps the lights on.
Well,
It keeps the
web
website
stuff.
up.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So it keeps the website up.
The domain
there's
name.
There's different things you have to kind of pay for behind the scenes.
We do have an event coming up in July, end of July.
Right.
And we may have to buy some things for that, but I don't think so. I think we're good. We've been on the air since 2010.
Although I'd love to get new tanks. And
Oh, yeah.
Abby, who may or may not be in chat here, just got tanks for her event, for her Curvy Confidence event,
Mm-hmm.
that are the cutest. And so I want to check with them on how we can get
Okay.
tanks. I know one of them was...
If we do, though, I would like to offer them. I would like to get enough so we can offer them to.
Right, because we always get asked about them. So we'll definitely do that, and maybe even, if we can get some extras for giveaways. You should totally go Kris Jenner soccer mom manager. Probably not. I would not be good at any of that. I wouldn't. I can't even lie.
We have thought about getting T-shirts on one of those, like Teespring or
Right.
one of those places, and I don't know why we haven't. I think it's because I don't know.
So we need to talk to Abby because she did her first run through a printer here in Vegas, and I believe her next ones are ordered through Teesprings.
What about you guys? Do you out there in the audience, are you interested in buying a Sin City Bounty tank top or T-shirt, or I think booty shorts would be awesome.
I think I need to get Sin City Bounty booty shorts.
The logo doesn't, well, unless you have a nice, beautiful, round ass. Like I have a flat ass, so I don't think the logo would look really good on it because it won't accentuate, the curves will go
Right.
like this.
Right. But
So
I
you-
could probably put our logo, our name, our website, our Patreon message.
All of our social media
I could
links.
put all of our social media links. I'm pretty sure I could fit our personal cell phone numbers on there, like maybe our story, our history of the show. Like we can list all of that on my little ass bulletin board.
Here's the thing. If you were to get booty shorts with all of that information on it, this would be a much more popular show.
So, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I think if we do, because I'm pretty sure, again, I probably should reach out to him before I say it, but we've done Stu's event every year. And his is, we've broadcast always from the pool, and we usually last year we wore our plush shirts. So I'm going to get our plush shirt, we'll wear our plush shirts again if Jacob is hosting it, if Plush is hosting it. We'll wear, Jakey Pooh shirts. And I will get Sin City Bounty booty shorts.
Nice.
Because I'm the one who walks around and gets the guests, so I'll advertise for the.
We are going to
the
be
show.
so popular after this
I will
event
advertise.
because every single person, I don't even care if they don't like fat girls, look at your ass.
So, Will, I'm gonna do that. I'm now committed to making that happen. So, SinCityBounty booty shorts it is.
Abby wants some booty shorts too. She would rock the hell out of them.
She would. So maybe she could do a lap around for us as well. So yeah, we'll hit all the full age spectrum. We'll send Abby for a lap. Get the younger guys. We'll send me around. We'll get the older gentlemen. Anyway, yeah, we totally need to do that.
All right, so I don't know how in depth you've looked over this list, but when I work on the computer a lot because I do websites and social media and things like that. And when I do, I have background Netflix or Hulu or Amazon shows going on. And I've seen these shows several times. That's why they're background shows, because I just can hear some dialogue and know exactly what's going on. And I was just watching a show that had an episode about horseplay.
I totally know what you're talking about. I have seen a show preview with it, where they go to this event like annually, and they show off their horses, and their horses like jump and all of that. I would not make a good horse.
And literally, they eat oats.
Yes.
They wear a bit in their mouth.
Yes.
It's great. Years ago, when I was dating a guy who was really into BDSM and fetishes and stuff like that, I saw some stuff on horseplay, and there's the butt plug with the horse hair coming off of it.
I love those.
To wear?
I have a thing for furries.
Yes.
And I just always feel like that's like a little extension. I don't necessarily know for me to wear. I mean, if a guy wants me to shove it in his ass and he wants to crawl around with it, by all means. I probably could be talked into it myself. That's not part of how
Would
I
you
envision
do
it.
the whole being a horse?
I would be a
mare?
shitty horse. I'd be, what is it, a lame horse? What is it? What's the horse that just wants
Need to be taken
eat
out
oats?
to the middle of the field and
I have
shot.
to be put out. What's the horse that likes to eat oats and watch Netflix? I'm not.
Mr. Ed?
I'm not. Who's the horse that wants to stay in the stable and like chill out on the hay while the others are jumping shit? Like whatever horse that is, that's the one I am. Like, I mean, maybe I could be like on My Little Pony because they're like cute and they, shoot rainbows or something.
That's a whole nother genre
that's a
of
whole
fetish,
different
I
thing.
think.
True. I'm jumping between them. But so as we go through these, I'm going to hand you some as well. So we're going to really go into some of these. Because the ones I'd love to touch on are ones I've never heard of.
Yeah.
And we love for people to learn things. And so if there's just one that you're like, oh shit, I didn't know what that was and now I do.
And which is weird because
mission
through
accomplished.
our 9 years of doing this show, and you've been with us for
5 now.
5 of them, we have actually learned a lot about the different fetishes there are. So to find
Right.
ones that we don't even know about,
Right.
that's kind of crazy.
When I remember first coming on and just the simplest little fetishes, and I'm like, what is that? I'm like clutching my pearls every episode, and I'm like, what am I doing here? I'm going to go home and pray. Like, what am I doing here?
I want to tell you the weirdest one, my top one, which is the weirdest to me, because I'd never heard of it before, was we had a girl on, and she did Vore, V-O-R-E.
Yes.
Where-
I didn't know what that was either.
I know.
Until...
So this one, and is it in there? Do you know if it's in there? So this one is where guys like to imagine, or girls like to imagine actually eating, but not literally eating. All in the imagination of eating the other person. So in order to do that, they talk, they get online, and they are on the phone or in person, I guess, and they talk, and they cut little baloney people out, or...
We had a co-host years ago when I first started the show, and she was, I'm not saying anything secretive because she was very public about it, and it was
Right.
often a topic of the show, but she was a fetish provider. And Vore, this is how I first heard about Vore, is that she had a client who wanted wanted her to eat him. And so that's what she would do. She would make little food people and pretend, and then like talk him through it, and then she would, eat the
And talk
food.
about how he's
Yeah.
going down her esophagus.
Yeah, he's going down, and now you're
landing
like,
into her belly, and
right?
that's crazy.
And you're like, did you find those Oreos I had a few hours ago floating around in there?
Oh, I would totally carve little people in the white of the Oreo.
It would be. Don't start with that first one. No, it would be amazing. I'm just gonna jump right to one really quick. And I'm gonna mark which ones, because if we don't get to all of these, we might touch another time. But the first one I want to mention just caught my eye, and it's called figging.
Fig.
Figging.
Like figgy pudding?
Figging.
Like figgy
People
pudding?
in chat, does anyone know what figging is? F-I-G, without looking it up. F-I-G-G-I-N-G. Johnny Fever, what do you think figging is? He's doing Vore over there with little fake people.
It has to do with Arabic numbers.
You can't get off the Arabic
Obsessed.
number thing,
You're
can
obsessed. You're obsessed. Oh, shit, I wrote on myself.
So figging, what
What
do I
do you
think
think
it's
it
be?
is?
Well, I know figs are fruit-ish things that grow on trees.
Mm-hmm.
You can make pudding out of it.
Like figgy pudding.
You
Yes.
insert them.
So masturbating with pudding.
Let's see if there's a fetish for that, because that kind of, I don't know. I might be Googling that shit later.
Instead of lube.
Figging, using ginger root to create a burning sensation. It must be peeled before it can be inserted anally or
What?
vaginally. Figging.
Ginger is hot.
Ginger is hot.
Ginger is hot.
Yes.
Wow. All right, you guys. When we
No
mention
clue.
these, tell us what
Nothing
you
about
think
figging.
of figging. Oh
Also,
my
if you're
God.
into figging and you care to share, I'm always down for the
I
experience.
wonder if there are people who will go the extra mile and get some Thai bird's eye chili peppers and insert those buggers. They can get lost up in there
What
because
would
they're
you call it
small.
if you used red vines?
Well, I think that's a whole nother fetish.
You don't want to use red vines because the sugar will give you like a yeast infection. So you want to avoid any type of sugar in your girl bits because it may feel great for the moment, but it's not going to, the next day or so. So
Lisa
just trust me.
Lisa says, I'm so extremely vanilla. We talk about these fetishes. I haven't participated in very many. I've done some BDSM. Yeah, that's about it.
We'll go to my favorite.
Well,
So
my
far,
turn.
because
Let me
I
go.
haven't
Let me
read
go
the whole list.
Here's one that I want to try. I don't know.
Mark it. So
I don't
we
know if it
talked
will
about it.
become a fetish where I have to practice it all the time. But this one sounds so fun. Not fun, but attractive, I guess, right? Mm-hmm. A fetish for trains or engaging in sexual activity on a train. I would like in one of those box cars.
We're not
the
talking
ones
about
where,
running a train. Like,
no,
that's totally different,
No,
right?
it's just being on the train and having sex on the train. I think I would even do it on the tracks before a train came. That would be kind of awesome. Because not only do you get the sex, right? Because I haven't had sex in forever.
Right.
But you would get the rumbling that trains do, that like a washing machine, but
on a train. I
on
mean,
a
I think
train.
that would be, I like the thought of something that's public but not public.
Yes.
So I feel like in a train car.
yeah.
Or something like that, that would be
Yeah,
really
not
hot.
necessarily the passenger car in that big
No.
empty box car or the box car filled with boxes of tomatoes or whatever.
Right, and the tomato. I'm totally down for the tomato car.
And this is called, and it's called siderodromophilia. Why don't they just call it trainophilia? Siderodromophilia.
Mark that.
I did.
You marked it all pretty. Mine are all circled.
Okay.
So here's one. Guys, if you're into this, I got you covered. Dacrophilia. Arousal caused by tears or crying.
Dude!
You pop on.
Wait, what's it called again?
Dacrophilia.
Dacrophilia.
Dacrophilia. All you have to do, guys, is you just gotta pop on one of those little puppy dies movies. And we watch that, and that's it. I will go to town. And if that's what gets you off, that's what gets you off. I will make that happen.
Practically any episode of Star Trek Next Generation Season 3 will probably make me cry. So if you like Star Trek and a woman who cries, I am your girl. I have a story.
If you have a Star Trek fetish.
So I have a story about dacrophilia.
Okay.
After I broke up with the guy that I dated that was into BDSM, I went online for a little while and I met some guy at an IHOP. Right? It was one of those meetings to see if we were going to date, and that was his fetish.
IHOP?
But it was, he listed as BDSM because he liked to spank a girl until she cried or humiliate her until she cried. So I don't know if it's the same thing, but it was going all the way to the crying part that he wanted. And I remember walking out of there going, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God."
I was confused for a moment because I thought the fetish was the IHOP play. And I was kind of down for that. I'm like, I'm gonna order all the pancakes as he's jerking off under the table. Can I get extra syrup?
A lot of you probably have this one already. It's called stigmatophilia. And I know that a lot of you probably have this one already because I hear you talk about it every time you get a new tattoo or one of your friends gets a new tattoo. It is the fetish for piercings and sometimes tattoos. It's pretty common, I think.
Nice.
There are times when I will look at a dude who has a bunch of tattoos and go, "Damn, he's hot." Or a girl. And I'm straight.
I do like tattoos. I don't have any myself,
Yeah.
but I'm definitely a fan of tattoos.
All right, your turn.
So I'm kind of going through these as we go. So I probably should have done
I've got a good
prior.
one. Symphorophilia. This is really weird to me. But I have a friend who loves horror, so maybe I guess I can see it. Symphorophilia. A fetish for watching car accidents and other traumatic incidents.
So I'm going to tell you guys a story. Hold on as I get my ass back on this chair. I'm only comfortable telling this story because I'm pretty sure that this friend doesn't know about this show. So,
Disclaimer.
and if she does, hey. I have a friend who has been married like 20 some years. And they had a scanner. And they used to go out. Her husband would listen to the scanner. And they'd have to go out whenever something good happened. Sometimes he'd even take pictures, like if there was a scene of a fire or an accident or something. But then she would tell me, so what kind of pastor? I'm like, all right, that's different. I mean, maybe he just likes the adrenaline associated with it. I don't know. Maybe he's an arsonist. I don't know. But she would refer to sex as listening to the scanner, and she'd be like, oh yeah, we listened to the scanner last night. And like finally once I said, why do you call it listening to the scanner? You could be like, I banged my husband last night. And she's like, no, we actually listen to the scanner while we have sex.
Wow.
So can you read that again?
Yes. It is the fetish for watching car accidents and other traumatic incidents.
I feel that that's his thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think they realized that that's a thing.
And
like,
you know what? if you or I were to listen to a scanner, we wouldn't understand what the hell was going on because they
No.
speak in code.
But he also works in a hospital, and he would go eat lunch out by the bay door where they brought in the ambulances. So it was, I mean, it all kind of ties in together. It wasn't just like hey, there's an accident, be a looky-loo as we drive by. Like, he was, but they tied it into their sex with the scanner.
Well, I do know that when death happens, people want to experience life more, and what is more life than getting physical with another person. So sex is huge at funerals, huge at right after somebody dies. Everybody participates as well. Almost everybody.
Why am I not invited to those?
Like
there's
all
a
my time going to weddings.
Yeah.
why? Like there's a post funeral.
Please invite Toxie to your future funeral. Thank you very much.
If there's a planned post-funeral orgy, apparently I'm not invited. Like,
I plan on having a
thanks,
huge
Aunt
memorial,
Beatrice.
so you can meet a lot of people that day, and I'll try and arrange it in a place where there's a sex room.
I will, because I love you and because you're my friend, I will bang people at your funeral. I will do it. For you, not for me. I'll do it and I won't enjoy it. I will totally enjoy it. So we've talked about, there's some on here that we've talked about before, like pet play, when you're cats and dogs, leashes, collars, food dishes. I think that this comes into, I'm spinning now, I got excited about the whole funeral sex. But I think it ties in with the ponies or the horses.
Pet play?
Yeah.
Does it have a description that you can read?
Any kink where someone acts like a domesticated pet. Cats and dogs are especially common with leashes, collars, and food/water dishes used as props.
I don't know. I think horseplay is all on its own.
You think? Okay, I'll see if it's a separate one.
Yeah. There's one on this page which is has to do with animals as well. Well, there's actually I think they subcategorize animal ones. I have a love of all things octopus. In fact, I have stopped eating octopus. And it's huge in the Asian community, which is really hard because I have to ask my mom all the time, what is in this beef salad, Mom? Or what is in this seafood salad, Mom? But there is a fetish for tentacles. And I don't quite have this fetish, but I wouldn't be scared to try if you wanted to throw some tentacles on your arms and sucker me with them.
And give it a shot.
Right? A fetish for tentacles. Many people enjoy animated erotica porn with tentacles, and tentacle dildos also lend to this fantasy. It is older than you realize. Those Asians, boy, I love them.
I can't pronounce half these, by the way. Hybristophilia, arousal by the knowledge that one's partner has committed a heinous act or crime. It could include cheating, lying, robbing, murder. It's sometimes known as Bonnie and Clyde syndrome. One partner is turned on by the other's bad deeds.
I bet you I know where to find the biggest population of those kind of people.
Where?
The ones that marry prisoners.
The last sentence here, some people find themselves attracted to criminals who are in prison.
Charlie Manson.
Yeah, he's got like multiples, doesn't he? Multiple wives or partners or whatever.
Or at least a lot of people who have proposed to him or tried to.
I think when all girls are young, they go through that bad boy where they have to have that bad boy, the one that's not quite goody-goody. And it extends into adulthood. I know girls who go after bad men all the time.
Right, I blame Greece. Like Danny Zuko, is it Zuko? Danny Zuko? Whatever it is. He fucked it up for everyone. So now everybody wants the bad boy. I'll admit, I probably could get into the play on that, But if somebody was like, hey man, I really did murder somebody, I don't necessarily think I'm going to be like, swoosh.
I would be worried. I couldn't sleep in front of this person.
Right.
Right? What if they murder me in the middle of the night?
Right.
Crazy.
So, I mean, I could probably go along with the whole, pretend aspect, but...
Oh. Vomit fetish. Oh. A sexual obsession with the act or substance of vomit. Oh, God. That's almost as bad as scatology, which I know is actually quite popular. 2 girls in a cup, right?
Scat is very popular.
Vomit
believe it or
fetish.
not.
Oh, my God.
Aw, I like this. I bet you would like this. I just can't pronounce it. Actidasti? Arousal by rays of the sun.
Ooh.
This may be enjoyed through sex outside.
We live in Las Vegas, which is a desert, and it can get up to 118, 120 maybe degrees here during the summer. Shut up, Phoenix. We understand. Anyway, almost every building in Las Vegas is air conditioned. And during the summer, they do deep air conditioning. It's fucking cold when you leave work all the time. My favorite thing after work was to go sit in my car, in my heated 145-degree car, and defrost from the air conditioning that happened at work. And I swear to God, I would sit there for about 5 minutes, and as soon as that first bead of sweat started to trickle, then I would open the windows or turn on the air and leave. I was never sexually aroused by that, but I probably could have been. The sun is amazing.
Yeah,
I can dig that. Yeah, the sun. I love the feel of the sun on my skin.
Here's one. Agalmatophilia. A person with this fetish is aroused by statues, mannequins, or other figurative representations. This may be related to, another big word, pygmalionism, an attraction to items of one's own creation.
Can you read that again, please?
Absolutely. Agalmatophilia. A person with this fetish is aroused by statues, mannequins, or other figurative representations.
Statues, mannequins, or...
Other figure representations. So, if you're aroused by... how is that possible? There are 261 of these kinks and fetishes.
We started late.
That's true.
Started 5 minutes late.
So I'm assuming maybe with statues? Sierra.
Why
She's
Sierra?
checking out some statues.
Oh, yeah. You know what?
And
She's going to go see that
Let us
really
know.
tall, long,
Yeah.
and hard monument
Yeah.
in Washington.
Are you going to be in there with that big old Abe Lincoln? Is it Abe Lincoln? that's in
Oh,
there?
you know what?
The ginormous.
I love that. I've never seen it in person, but I love that statue.
That would cover quite a few fetishes. I think
Yeah, it
there's
would.
one with Amazons here.
I
as
have
well.
one for all of my friends who are on a low-carb diet, whether it's keto or what's the Atkins or any of those. This is how you can still have bread in your life. It's called yeastiality. Sexual activity involving bread, especially warm dough. Introducing yeast to the genitals can lead to an infection, so there's your warning. I could totally see a dude on keto masturbating with a loaf of bread. Totally see it.
I probably am. I mean, I'm not on keto, and I probably could masturbate with a loaf of bread. So I don't think that one's too far off.
All I can say is stay away from the Olive Garden.
The breadsticks.
Oh, those breadsticks are not so great.
They're quite flimsy.
Yeah.
Um,
You would need to get like a French loaf from like Walmart or something.
Get the ones from Costco, the frozen ones that you put in the oven.
So again, I have all the big ones here, but olfactophilia.
Smell.
Attraction to smells, especially pungent body odors. horolagnia is the fetish for sweat or gaseous emission specifically.
Where did you get this list again?
A random.
So there's one
I
here.
actually have it.
There's one here, and I don't know how it can be called a fetish, but they have a whole name for it. I think it's German. I can't
more.
say it.
There's more that's missing.
Oh.
I accidentally removed it.
Okay, then I'm not even going to say that one.
Yeah, there's more.
Because I was going to say this website that you went to is fucked up.
No, there's more.
And I'm not going to say that one.
Omarashi, the Japanese word for a fetish related to having a full bladder and urinating on oneself.
I've
Often shortened
heard
to
that
Omo.
before. Elmo.
Omo.
Oh.
Which ties in with... Not Elmo. Which could tie into golden showers.
It's golden showers are probably a byproduct of that, maybe. But this is peeing on yourself, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, and I do that accidentally.
What,
So
what
I don't
do
know.
they call, what do they call getting peed on by
Yeah,
Russian
water sports.
prostitutes?
What's that, John?
I don't know. I'm asking
Oh.
if that's on there.
I know why.
I know someone who has this.
45itis? Or-
I know someone who has this philia. It's somnophilia. Do you know what that is just from the word somno?
So sleeping.
Yes.
Sleep sex.
The fetish for sexual partners who are asleep, which in some terms might be considered rape if they don't know
but
that.
if it's
right,
but
if it's
with many fetishes, a lot of it's consensual.
people with this fascination may enjoy the sleeping princess trope. In reality, a partner should specify prior consent. Yes, please.
Prior
To
consent.
sexual activity that happens or begins while they are asleep. And I know someone who actually told their partner in front of me that that's what they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
It was my mom.
Oh. Well, now.
That is so crazy.
A little more than I'd want to know.
And I told my mom, I said, how? But you're not even awake. And I'm like, do you want him to, like, wake you
Like
up?
you wake up during. I think the thing is like you wake up during. So you wake up with a penis in your mouth. So.
She really likes that. So that's why I think it's a philia with her,
Right.
as opposed to just something she wants to do.
Right.
I gave my Michael permission to do that, and he couldn't do it because it was
Like, have you ever woken someone up with a blowjob? Like
Yeah.
it's the morning and you're like, it's a good morning blowjob.
that's crazy.
So some people have coffee, some people.
And then of course you have your typical ones. Where are we at? 5 minutes. I'll just name off some typical ones here. Spanking, of course, is a fetish. Stockings, people who really like stockings. Strap-ons. Stuffing, eating until the point of physical pain. That's crazy. But there are
Some people do it.
Yeah.
Not even for a sexual fetish.
teasing or tantalolagnia, to enjoy teasing as sexual gratification. I'm not a big fan of. I like teasing. I call it foreplay. Let's see. There's
Okay.
robot fetishes.
I have lithophilia. Do you have any idea what lithophilia is?
I know.
Or writing or words.
Lithomancy is divination by rocks.
Lithophilia, a kink for rocks, stones, or gravel. This can also be non-sexual.
Okay.
Of course, you have your latex rubber.
I'm not going to read that one. Not going to read that one. Tickling. Everybody has that one.
Here's chironophobia, a sexual fantasy with thunder and lightning. Similar to arousal from thunderstorms, which is called brontophilia. You can incorporate it into your sex, but a thunderstorm makes a good backdrop for sexy times.
Here's the lesson that you can take away from today. Your likes and dislikes, your desires, your wishes can probably be put in under a fetish category. But you can love those things without it being a fetish. I love thunderstorms. I love when it thunders, when it lightnings.
But
when
you don't get turned on by it.
I don't, but I wouldn't stop some guy if he wanted to have sex during that time. And then it could become a total fetish, right? And the second thing to take away from this is that everybody's probably got something. They might not even know it yet, but everybody's got something.
True. Just like the one that we spoke about with the ambulance and they probably didn't know that it was a fetish.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to hear one that I can get into.
Face sitting. The act of a woman sitting on a man's face while he performs oral. Here's what I will tell you something. When you have an ass like this, you get asked about that often.
Yeah, I bet you do. You probably could have made so much money, and you probably still could make so much money just by sitting on people. Why don't you?
I don't know. I always say I'm going to do things, but then I don't.
Where are we at? 2 minutes? All right. This is a great topic.
We should bring this back next week because there's actually a lot that we haven't even explored that I think would be very interesting to have conversations on.
Is that your homework for the week then, ma'am?
Yes.
Your homework for the week.
Yes.
You can do it while you're on the soccer field.
Yes. I'm already the mom who gave the coach a lap dance. Just real quick story. So many years ago, we've talked about it on the show. I gave the coach a lap dance. It was at a tournament. We were away. We were all drinking. It was hilarious. The coach is a tiny man. So my ex-husband was there. Like, they were filming. It was hilarious. It was talked about forever. Whenever new people came on the team, they're like, oh, you're that mom. Because it was talked about forever. So we went to a quinceañera on Saturday, my daughter and I. And, of course, it was soccer family, you know, because despite the fact that her current teams, I can't pick them out in a lineup in many cases, we have former teammates that we're still very close with. And we were there, and of course we were there with lap dance coach and another coach of hers and everything. And I'm like, we're not talking about tonight, no. Like, I finally rid myself of that title. And then he made a comment. I had made a Facebook post about how I suddenly found these divots in my head, like these big, huge creases, and it was like, it blew my mind, you know? And so, of course, he made a comment on it, and he said something about it, and I burst out like, I looked, and it looked like I had a vagina on my forehead. Like, that's how big these creases were. And as soon as I finished saying it, I'm like, fuck. I'm not a lap dance mom anymore. Now I'm vagina forehead. So I did that one to myself.
All right. I'm Alexia.
Taxi.
Sierra's in here. In her spirit is here. We miss her very much. And she won't be back next week either.
No, she will not. But we'll continue on this topic, which I know would interest her very much. So maybe we can get her to call in from her remote.
Maybe. We'll be back next week if you're brave enough.
Later, bitches.